Yokes. Hope y'all remember that when I die.
Yeah.
Yeah, put that on my tombstone. Just good lines.
Good lines. You want good? Just put good lines on there, or
Say fat eyes. Hope fat eyes be remembered.
Yogi Bear.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Walrus and Comics Sports Report.
Did you like that?
I did a lot.
Good.
Because I got the yokes, did he? Thanks, Ron.
Oh man, Brett, we got some sports to talk about. It's second week in a row, actually. We get some sports to talk about. But first, before we talk about real sports, I want to talk about my favorite fake sport.
Good.
Some WWE action. And I know the bulk of this is probably going to go towards UFC today, because I know you got a lot to say about a crappy card that we watched.
How about my boy?
Which
my boy
one?
Poirier.
What did he do this weekend?
Yeah, that's when I probably cooked some food.
Yeah, probably watched
Just
UFC.
exist.
You think he threw back some Coors Light or some Bud Light? You remember when Brock Lesnar did
What's the Louisiana thing? What do you think they drink? I think they drink malt liquor.
They kind of... I would see that.
Probably Old English.
Fermented swamp
OE.
water.
Well, I have some bad stories about OE, man.
I've never had one.
Really?
I don't think I'm too clean for
we
that.
all right. We went to my senior year of college. We went to Washington D.C. That's where my best friend went to school, and one of my other friends was stationed at the naval base in Charleston. He called me up. He's like, "Hey, this weekend I want to go up to D.C. You want to come?" So we basically go to the naval base ABC store because everything's cheap there.
Yeah.
And we go.
That
so we-
explains so much about why the military has alcohol problems.
Yeah, like I mean, it's literally that's. So we go fill up the back. He had a, golly, this was 2000 and had to be 2012, right? Spring of 2012, and he had a brand new 2012 Dodge Challenger stick shift.
Was he in the military?
He was in the military.
Ah.
And he it was the Hemi version. So like, because a lot of those weren't Hemis. And so it comes into play later, but we filled the whole back with alcohol to
Just
carry
hang tight,
up.
it'll come back.
And
Yeah, I don't want to keep telling the story, but he get married that next summer.
I think it was 2 summers later.
It wasn't that long.
Well, he had been in the military for a little bit already. He'd already been on the tour.
What in the world took him so
He'd
long?
probably been engaged a few times.
I mean, you never know.
100%.
He might have been married.
Signed up,
I can't remember.
Either that or he never made eye contact with a woman until 2 summers later.
Well, so basically we're driving up the road, right? And you basically just take the interstate all the way up to Washington D.C. from Charleston. You go up 26 and get on 95 and go up.
Sounds like a miserable
And
ride.
so when we cross over the North Carolina, there's a like, I don't want to call them outlet stores, but it might be near the what's the little.
A strip mall?
It's a strip mall, but what's the thing when you cross into North Carolina, south of the border? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
All right, so there's a big cigar shop there.
Also, strip mall sounds way worse than outlet stores.
Yeah. It was mostly like a strip mall. So basically, we went in and we bought a bunch of cigars to take with us too, because in North Carolina, tobacco tax is less than anywhere in the nation, I believe.
And Myrtle Beach has real strip malls.
So
Well, yeah.
Where it's like 3 or 4 strip clubs.
Right.
They have strip malls.
Well, normally I'll have a tattoo parlor in there as well.
Yeah. And a piercing place.
Yeah.
Most of they're together anyways.
Oh, you get your nipples pierced.
How great is that? It's just like one district. It's just like, this is where you go this is where you can come to get
The
it.
best part is you cross the railroad tracks
To
to
get
the shady part.
That's exactly right. It's hilarious, actually. So we're driving.
Pepsi Avenue.
We get back on the road and we're going, and so my buddy driving this stick shift, Hemi, really nice car.
Driving your stick shift.
So
How many people you think got hepatitis on that street in Myrtle Beach?
God, probably too many.
None.
I mean,
We stay clean here, baby.
Oh no,
Yeah.
definitely not.
We don't
Family
play.
Some
friendly.
shady places.
What?
So we're riding down the road and people come up next to us. Have you ever raced a car on the street?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so
Almost went to jail one night.
so we're in North Carolina, and
That was
this
Market Commons.
I believe it was a Scion came up next to us, and
Man raced a Scion.
well, like at that time Scions were really easy to trick out, and like a lot of people it was kind of affordable.
Yeah.
So the guy comes up next to us and he gives a signal and he takes off. And my buddy was like, just watch this. So he shifted. I don't know how to drive stick shift. He shifted it. I mean, we just took off. and we hit this like I don't know, like 130, 140. I don't know how fast it was, but I can tell you the ride was so smooth. I thought we were going 65. Like that's how that car felt.
Well, I've seen you drive, so I don't believe you went 140. Your 140 is probably 55.
Well, I'm not driving.
Yeah, I know, but to you, your sense of speed.
Yeah.
That is true.
What's the speed limit? 55. Okay, I thought so. 45.
I don't go under. I'll go 4 over.
You go under every time I've been in the front seat. What do you mean?
No,
Don't try to sound cool in front of the
I said it
podcast.
between 1 and 4 over. Like that's what I do, man.
Did you do that all your waking
You
shift?
did.
That's surprising. Every time I've been in the front seat,
Oh, that's
George
amazing.
says,
Yeah, you got mad at me, so I sped up a little.
rightfully so.
So-
Why are you waiting?
So we got to Washington D.C. and basically it was a whole weekend of just partying, right? So we got there Friday night. It was Georgetown University's Battle of the Bands. So we went to like a bunch of college bands, having music. They threw a huge party at their house that night. The next morning we woke up and we went to go get a bunch of just like stuff to grill,
Had some sex.
stuff to grill, right?
With
And
each other.
No.
so we-
tenderloin.
we come back
Some
and
rock
one of the
bars.
guys from the house was coming down the street with what we call they call them natty caddies. They're literally what's the thing you put on like a refrigerator? A dolly. So basically it was a dolly and he had cases of old English in them. And they were 40 ounces. They were the 40s.
Boy, where was koozies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so like, but
Got some studio or
this
whatever.
gas station, basically they sold it really cheap, and you could borrow the dolly, and if you brought the dolly back, they gave you a percentage off your next purchase. And
How many times has the dolly not come back?
Yeah.
They had to make that deal. Just please bring it back.
So basically, we're just doing like you know how like you're young, you do like want to see who can drink something
Butt
the
stuff.
fastest.
Oh.
Butt stuff.
Yeah.
Butt stuff. So basically,
Yeah,
we were
bitch,
doing
don't do
like
that.
drinking contests to it. So I just remembered my first Old English 40. I just you don't drink.
You
Looks
come.
gross.
Bad.
Is what I'm hearing. You come. You just.
It massages your prostate, sounds
The butt stuff.
He did the old alcohol enema.
like. Oh.
Ooh.
I want to get drunk now.
What was the show on Spike TV where they were
Thousand Ways to
Thousand Ways to
Die.
Die?
I knew where you
Remember?
got. I saw that
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah,
That
when he got too
was a
drunk.
good show.
It was stupidly good. All right, so my one thing I want to talk about WWE. They finally made a good decision.
They did.
Uh,
Not many.
yeah.
Rare. Few
Listen,
and far between
I
these days.
have some big issues with some WWE stuff happening right now, and I'll talk about it in a second. But in NXT, they finally put the NXT title on Keith Lee, which makes me think they're about to move the Undisputed Era up to Raw or SmackDown. I think that's actually what's about to happen because none of them have titles anymore. And the match was less than great, even though I told you it was the most amazing one. It wasn't as good as it could have been with a live crowd. I think that like they're really suffering with the lack of a pop there, and you could tell like the people who are in the NXT development stuff, they don't want to be there watching the show. They don't want to react to it. But there were a lot of things about that match that could have been changed. I thought they were actually going to make Keith Lee look more like a monster than they did.
Yeah.
They gave Adam Cole, and I mean, I guess if you've been champion for a whole year,
You have to give him something. You
give
can't just
him
let him get
something.
run over.
And he's one of the best, touted one of the best wrestlers in the world. But Keith Lee becomes a champion, should have happened. My biggest thing with WWE that I hate right now is Jeff Hardy angle. Like, absolutely hate it.
I think it's hilarious.
It's like the Jake the Snake Robert
Yeah.
angle they did, and like the Scott Hall angle they've done before.
Yeah.
Like it's actually it's been so bad that like
They found him.
Matt Hardy has come out and said like that this angle is probably going to cause Jeff Hardy to leave the WWE because he actually didn't want to do the angle.
Now you have to. Now they need to do a show in Myrtle Beach just so they can find him under a stairwell.
You know, as much as I go to the arcade, could you imagine if
If
I
you
would have
found
found
Jeff
that?
Hardy?
Like I would have.
I know what would have happened.
I would have had to.
Me too.
I would have had to carry the guy to safety.
No.
Like, Mr. Hardy, can I get your autograph? You
Mr.
know.
Hardy, let me get my pen for
What's
you.
that kid on the that was on the swim team's name? Brock
Swim?
something.
Oh,
Oh.
That's where I'm going.
No.
When you find Jeff
Oh,
Hardy.
yeah,
That's where I'm going. with it.
No, that's not my role.
What's his name?
I can't remember. Brock something. All your girls would know though.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
I know what
about.
you're
Wait,
talking
what did
about.
you say, Ron?
All his
Who would-
girls.
Oh, it's girls. How many girls? What are you talking about?
Does he have one girl?
8 days a week. 8 days.
Yeah, we're gonna have to redo this one just
No.
because I said that. I
It's
can
a-
see it now.
No.
Hey, I'm gonna be on the way home. He's like, I need you.
No,
to,
we
he's
don't.
like, I'm gonna need you to listen to the podcast to see if it sounds good.
You know, I just didn't like it. I mean, I think it's a better.
Just the man, the energy was up. Just our energies were off,
The
man.
energies are off.
Bro,
All right,
brother,
so
homie.
that's all the
Oh.
WWE. All the WWE I want to cover. AEW, they had their 2-week show that was like a pay-per-view. It was actually really good. I got to show you the over-the-top rope Canadian Destroyer. If you've not seen that, I would recommend you actually just look it up on YouTube. It blew my mind.
It's the
Really
fucking
great.
Canadian
It was probably stupid. It was probably stupid.
It was pretty cool.
If you're a
though.
wrestling fan, you're an idiot. If you buy that what you're shoveled, you're an idiot.
Hey, it's almost as scripted as the UFC results. Okay.
The
Shut up.
match you
That's what I'm
watched,
saying.
the match I had to walk in here with Keith Lee, as slow as they went, he got powerbombed like he's dead. He spasming like Ric Flair falling flatter. He slowly puts one finger on the rope.
I have to say.
It's a personal touch.
Then he rolls out ring.
It was like E.T.
Then he rolls out ring, jumps up and kicks the man in the head 3 times.
Don't break that mic like that. It's gonna sound bad.
I need to say.
Yeah, I don't know what he does. He's
Just
I need to tell
like he's
everybody.
Chael Sonnen. That's what he does. That's who he's trying to be.
It is. I gotta say, I watched Monday Night Raw this morning.
I
In 2004, and boy, it was good.
Oh, I thought you saw like today's. I was like, or yesterday's. I
And
was
see,
like,
this man's just living in the past.
Yeah.
Because that's where it was.
I
in
watched it
Wales.
from 2004 and it was good.
It was good.
maybe you should explain to the viewers that you're just going through all of them.
Oh my!
They might not
God.
understand that.
Yeah, I
That's just
started.
like a red. Oh, I just picked up 2004.
I started in I started
1989.
in 90.
You started in the first row.
95, and yeah, no, it
The
was.
one in the mall.
No,
right?
it was about no. I started when Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels started their feud,
96,
96.
95, 96.
Yeah, it was 95, 96. And I've been watching all Monday Night Raws, SmackDowns, and pay-per-views since 95,
That's a
96.
grind, man.
Oh, my God. I've been
I
doing
just-
it for, what, 2 years?
Yeah.
3 years now?
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I've just been watching.
And I'm in
Criminal Minds.
2004.
Yeah.
I'm only 9 years in.
Huh. The new manual, or the 2-door Bronco comes with a manual 7-speed transmission, 6 plus a crawler gear.
Huh.
Oh yes,
Interesting.
good for outdoorsy things.
Can we talk about what I saw in that 2004 Raw?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't think
He
we
knows
spend too
this.
much time, but
He knows this.
Do it.
Randy Orton and Shelton Benjamin in the ring. Randy Orton's Intercontinental Champion.
Like you hit us about to get real racist.
It's about to get real racist. Shelton Benjamin interrupts his promo,
okay.
and he's in his face telling him he wants an Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton's reply to him is, "You know what, boy? You're real uppity. That's what's wrong with your people."
Oh,
I was like, "What?
that's
What?"
Okay, so this has happened a few times, right? Randy Orton in real life is the reason why Kofi Kingston never got another title shot after his first one back in that time period.
I was like, "What
And
the hell?"
who was the one who said something to Booker T?
Triple H.
Triple H to Booker T?
Yeah, that feud.
Yeah.
And then they let him lose at WrestleMania. They let him basically, like, it was the most racist, just berating. Triple H just beat him over the head about being black and worthless, and then he lost at WrestleMania. And then Booker T
Yeah,
lost.
he brought in all this stuff about his arrest. It was like really personal. I remember that.
I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. Randy was like, "Yeah, boy, you're getting real uppity." I was like, "Holy shit!"
I mean, that's the time period that we were in
You
there.
think this man's just a racist? Also, 2004 is not the time period
That
we
was
were
no
in.
time.
Yeah, you know, it's
No,
just the
that's just-
time period.
This Jim
I
Crow
mean,
2004
yeah,
days.
Guys, remember, what year did Remember the Titans come out? 99? 2000?
Oh, that's true.
99, 2000? Like, our football team, when I was in B team, we had to sit down and have a talk about, like, racism, actually. because
After-school
there was
special.
still. Well, you have to think during that. There's a lot of things I could say that would not be appropriate for this podcast, but just understand that race relations still weren't nowhere near as good as they are right now, in 2004.
Are they
So-
good right now?
Huh?
Are they good right now?
No.
They're not good right now.
No. But
They
they
were
are
even
better.
worse.
They are
That's
better
what
than they
it-
were in
yeah,
2004. They're better than they were in 1999. They were better. Like every year we get past Jim Crow segregation, they get a little better.
How many years is it gonna take?
I mean,
A lot.
well,
Apparently.
you have to think. All right, the way of thinking has to die out, right?
Yeah.
How does it die out? Old people
With
die.
time, just
Will
with
it
time.
ever? Will it ever? Because the old
I
people
don't-
teach
I
the
don't-
young people.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever fully die out.
No.
But I think it'll
but
diminish
it'll
to
be a lot
small
yeah.
proportions. It'll
Yeah.
be, it'll be
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just human nature though to
0.1%.
hate people different than you.
Yeah, I mean every culture in humankind has hated another that was not like them,
Yeah.
and they have hated people who were like them.
Well, true.
You know, like
y'all.
it's.
The Redskins' name is retired.
Yeah. I love it.
In that vein, and I like a name that has been thrown around that I've heard. I'm gonna tell you, I like them being called the Red Tails.
The Red Tails.
I like it.
That's the one about the
Tuskegee
the
Airmen.
Tuskegee Airmen.
I
yeah.
like it. The Washington Red
I
Tails.
do like that, but I think they
Sounds
should
like a
go.
hockey team.
I think the owner
It
should
does.
just make more of a joke about it and everything. They should be called the Pork Skins.
You know what I thought he was gonna say?
Because
Washington Reservation Dwellers.
Listen, because
Washington Alcoholics.
remember, you have all these like really extreme Washington Redskin fans who come to the stadiums wearing pig masks and stuff. How great would it be? They're just the Pork Skins.
Washington police officers.
Oh, I was about to say Washington Police Department. Dang.
Washington PD.
You beat me.
DCPD.
Danny Cormier.
Hey!
I see him being picked.
You didn't like that joke, did you?
Oh, guys, can we not talk about
I didn't like that at all, actually. I think, all right, so the Washington Redskins, I believe that of all the major sports that still have some type of Native American ties, that they're the ones who needed to change the most.
Yeah.
I think the Braves name actually does a good job just bringing positive
Yeah, I was gonna
recognition
say
to the
that.
Native American community.
I think
Now,
the
I have
Cleveland
said-
Indians are going to need to change.
I have seen that the Braves are going to stop the chop.
Which is ridiculous.
Because it portrays Native Americans as an inhumane type of way. Because
How?
it was a war chop. Listen, don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just
we
telling you
will.
what we're seeing, okay?
I mean,
I think the Cleveland
um,
Indians are going to have to
I think the
change.
Cleveland Indians will have to change as well.
Because say Indians
Who else is
in
left?
India.
There's another team that
No, I think the Cleveland Indians are really the only one that is going to get cleaned up here.
I don't know. I think the Bears are kind of on iffy ground.
The Packers.
But yeah,
I really think they should
communities.
change the Dallas Cowboys name. Like Cowboys.
First, I think it's changed the whole franchise. Do
You're
something
right.
different.
How great was it that
Screw
they used
something
to have
else.
the Cowboys and Redskins play on Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was so good. But it was a tradition their fans look forward to.
Cowboys
That's right.
Indians.
Tradition back from. Well, I don't even know why that would. I guess westward expansion. But I don't know.
Washington measles blankets.
Man, there's so many options. I knew it was coming. Once money got involved, once their sponsors were saying, "Hey, you're going to need to change this or remove our name," that's how everything goes by. The Washington Casino Wars.
Washington track marks. Accurate.
So, now that the name is retired, do I need to retire calling their franchise their previous few seasons the Trail of Tears? Do I need to retire that?
Probably so.
Okay, it's retired.
I mean, it's been more than a few years, right? It's been like 10 plus
It's
years,
been,
right?
been a long
15
time.
years.
They've been on that trail a long time.
That's pretty bad.
Franchise. They've been walking it 40 years.
Yes. What's here?
We haven't heard much out of baseball. I assume they're training. I assume they're getting ready. I watched a little bit of MLB Network. They talked about exhibition games happening next week to get ready.
I think they were showing highlights on ESPN for the Dodgers one they were doing, like a
And,
little inner scrimmage.
Opening day is supposed to be next Sunday,
The
the 26th.
Braves announced their starting pitcher today.
Did they?
Mike
Soroka, baby,
Yeah.
the big boy.
The,
He's gonna be good.
He's going to be.
I'm gonna step out on a limb here. He's gonna be in the ranks of Greg Max.
Ooh,
He's
that's,
good.
that's big.
He's
That's big
good.
shoes there.
It is.
I mean, you're talking like guy who
Have you
struck out
seen the
more
man
people.
pitch?
I've seen a little bit.
He can put it on.
He's going to be the youngest day one starter in Braves history, actually.
He can put it
I believe.
on. He was an All-Star last year.
Yeah,
First
he's
time to
good.
do that in Atlanta.
He's good. He is a good pitcher.
I like how he doesn't.
I do
keep
like
something
the
up.
other signing that the Braves announced today.
Yasiel Puig, filling in Markakis.
Filling in,
now-
he might end up winning a contract there.
Does I asked you this, and I don't know if we have an answer. I don't think you looked it up. Do we know if contracts freeze this year if you opt out?
I don't think they've announced it. Like I think that's something that I think the whole MLB and the MLBPA is going to have to come to some type of agreement. with it.
Because if not, it was a huge decision for Nick Markakis to opt out because he had just signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So if contract doesn't freeze and carry over to next year, that was a massive decision. For
I
him.
imagine that it does.
That would essentially be a retirement for him. I
Yeah.
think because he was coming towards the end of his career. Everybody was looking at him kind of like, do we want to take a chance? And Braves decided, you know what? You've done enough for us. We'll give you a 1-year deal. You were good last year. You've been good for us.
Yeah.
Gave him a 1-year deal, and then he opts out of it. That might be a retirement if it doesn't
it might be.
roll over.
I don't think it will roll over. I think that anyone who sits out is going to do that on their own accord.
Well, thank
Because
you,
I
Nick
believe-
Markakis, for what you've done.
I
for the
believe
Braves.
I read because there was another. They were talking about a player who wasn't making hardly anything. How he doesn't have the option to sit out because his family's relying on him making the money. So I think that Nick Markakis willingly gave up the money, and gave up the contract. I believe that's how it works.
R.I.P. Nick.
Hey man, time to move on. Yasiel Puig might bring you a World Series. Basketball, you know they've been having issues. There's been some COVID things, and there's also they have their little area that they've set aside for everyone. And like
bubble?
Yeah, and people have already violated the terms of it. People are already going
Yeah.
out and doing stuff. So I actually don't think that we're going to get sports. Like
I think
we
baseball will happen.
It might, and I hope it does.
I think we get that 60-game season.
But I don't think people really care about baseball as much as like football.
No,
And
absolutely not.
I don't think we get football. I think that.
I don't think we get college. We may get NFL.
Yeah, college I think is done though. They're going to try, I know. but-
SEC announced. My father told me today. SEC announced they're planning on playing a regular schedule. What are they on? Like I told him not if they have Big Ten or ACC on the schedule. They won't.
Yeah, they won't.
I thought ACC announced they were playing conference only. He said ACC hadn't made a decision.
They announced
I
conference
think
only,
so, yeah.
but they said conference only. 'Cause that's
SEC
the
says-
big thing because like people are mad because we
SEC
lose
is
South
very
Carolina and
smart.
Clemson.
Yeah,
games.
SEC came out and said we're playing a regular schedule.
They won't.
No, they're not going to be allowed. The commissioner of the NCAA or whatever is going to tell them shut up.
Now the college football playoff said that they didn't have any plans to change their criteria. So if the ACC only plays ACC games, and if they I imagine, are they going to double up or something? Are they going to make the decision? All right, Clemson plays Duke twice.
I will continue to say, as long as Clemson is undefeated, we've seen what they can do against the top 5 teams in the country. We've seen what they can do against the top 10 teams in the country. As long as they don't lose bad games in the ACC, you put them in because they have not shown us that they can't do it.
Well, it matters Ohio's going.
God, I hate Ohio State.
Me too.
God, I hate Ohio State.
And I know you agree with that.
They're
It's
hallmarks.
Clemson thing.
Yeah.
And we have Carolina fans that are just
Oh, I remember a Carolina fan once telling me every time anything came up didn't have to be Clemson related. Do you remember? Fuck Clemson.
oh yeah,
He'd be talking about anything
yeah,
else.
anything
He just felt like he had to say it.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really hurt Dabo. He could really feel it when he sat at home.
Listen, if we don't get that game this year, I'm not upset. I really could care less about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Whoa!
a lot
I'm
of
getting to
people
see
do.
my favorite team lose by 50. Wow! All right.
How about the time they beat them, though? How about the time they beat them?
Hey, it was a good time to be
How
alive
about
when we had, what, 4 in a row?
You know, I was watching that game in 2004.
I went back and watched it. It was just as good. It got me just as rock hard as it did back then.
Hey, listen, You can't say that you don't go back and watch the USC Alabama game and it don't bring you that same excitement.
I don't watch old football games. I don't watch old sports.
I don't like old sports either.
I don't watch
except
old sports.
wrestling.
I can watch old wrestling. I can watch old fights. I can go back and watch old fights.
I kind of like watching the old football games where it's like from the 60s and the
I can
fields
watch
are
an
green.
80s football game.
Yeah.
I can watch a 70s, 80s football game. I like watching old
that.
fights. I went back and watched like UFC like 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, the first ones are good.
I
I
like dudes with no gloves just getting after it, baby.
I like watching the UFC fights. They did like the little clips on their UFC Facebook page, and you can watch a little 4-minute clip of a fight. I like watching those.
Well, you know, if you subscribe to USC Fight Pass, you get the whole library.
Yeah? How much is it?
I don't remember. It's not
You
too
get
bad.
their library, well, not their library, but you get the past pay-per-views and you get a lot for signing up on ESPN Plus because ESPN Plus got the rights to UFC when they made that deal.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of their library on ESPN Plus now, which I
That's cool.
believe maybe two with
Do you have anything with Ken Shamrock on there? The best UFC fighter of all time?
You know, watch Into the Lines then one time.
Pop up.
Hey, did you watch that?
Juice.
Oh.
Hey, Into the Lions Den was good.
Papa Juice.
Yeah.
You know, I had somebody tell me the other day he wasn't on steroids. That person didn't have eyeballs.
They might be stupid, yeah. Now,
wasn't.
well, during that time, they didn't drug test.
No. And he
So-
was nobody. Just. I can't put my arms
That's like
together.
saying John Cena never took steroids.
Yeah, come on. What are we doing here?
Like it's like saying Hulk Hogan never took steroids.
He didn't, first off. He took his vitamins.
And weenies.
Wheaties?
His weenies, huh? Yeah. Wheaties?
Wheaties?
No, I'm going weenie.
I don't like it.
Dick joke.
No, I understand your dick joke, and I won't have you bashing an American hero like
That's right. I'm a real American.
Fight for the rights of every man.
I'm a
Something,
real
something
American.
American.
Fight for the right.
Fight for your right.
Down, down, down.
Chad Hulk Hogan. in
Oh, well,
something
hang
he's
on.
not-
If we're doing WWE, slap it again. There we go.
That's right.
That's how you do it.
And I'm sorry.
Hey, but in the WWE's world, you have a chance against him.
You
Yeah.
do.
But in UFC world, get your ass kicked every time.
You know, I just didn't like. I saw the angle you were taking with Terry, and I didn't like it.
Oh, with Terry, I didn't like
It's
it.
your uncle, right?
I hate
Your
people
uncle.
calling
So-
Terry.
So
Break in while we're here, boys.
talking about UFC.
I don't know.
So I'll say this: the last UFC pay-per-view
Pay-per-view
what was it,
review.
225? Is that what? It was?
PPVR?
I think it was
What's-
like 252.
252? I don't know what it
251, I
was.
believe.
251. I was actually impressed with the main card. I wasn't a fan of the last fight.
Oh, we're gonna argue. We're gonna.
hang on.
I
let me
have
just
the main
speak
card
this
written
one
down. We're
message.
gonna go through, and then we're gonna argue
Let
at
me
the
just
end.
speak this one message.
I will say this: the women fights were better than the men's.
Shut up.
It was
Do you
good.
not like women?
It was a good card, except it got
Yeah, I'd
just
rather watch
real
her cook
sad watching Jose Aldo. Yeah, they got.
God.
Come on, man. They
Yeah.
should stop that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got bad. They
Poor
just
guy.
got
The best thing
sad.
was I was listening. I was
Hey,
watching
he
my
was
companion, and they
He
were
was
watching
in
that
it.
fight.
If that was a 3-round fight, he would have
Yeah.
been fine. There's no way Josie Aldo and his, how is he, 34?
33.
33-year-old guy, he can't do 5 rounds.
They were watching it, and like Joe
Well,
Rogan.
Masvidal was 35.
Is he really?
I believe it was him that was
Maybe
35.
Josie Aldo, maybe
Jose Aldo's 33.
maybe Josie Aldo just looks old. Like you
He's
look at him,
been in it, I
Yeah.
think, since he was
yeah.
19.
You look at the
He's
guy,
been
you can
around.
tell that he's been through some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he probably hadn't been training like he should be.
I imagine
Some-
not.
He's past
The
his
king of
prime. He's
Rio.
over his hill at 33.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
Jesus
that's
Christ,
not bad.
Ron, just shake the table, bud.
Hey man, listen, I'm about to go Hulk Hogan on it here.
He's trying to eat some weenies, it sounds like.
Oh, we know he will.
I'm not going his Hulk Hogan. Man.
Hogan's Heroes.
Fight companion. Joey's like, all right, stop the fight, stop the fight, stop the fight.
Yeah, it got
and then,
sad.
and then Joey Diaz comes out of nowhere. He's like, stop this fucking fight, you cocksucker.
On the Fight Pass?
Fight companion.
Oh, Fight Companion?
He's like, stop this fucking fight, you cocksucker.
Yeah. Fight back. Fight back.
Yeah.
Fight back. Fight back.
I don't know how they expected him to fight back, man. Like,
And the worst part is after that blood everywhere, he's getting beat. It was bad. He just laid there like this for the next
Yeah,
20
blood's
seconds.
just puddling up under his head, and the referee's going,
Fight back.
I need you to fight back. I'm
Do
going to
you
have to stop
guys-
it if you don't fight back.
Does it like hurt y'all to see someone that you have so many memories of fighting from like years ago, like just get their butt kicked like that?
It's
Like,
sad.
doesn't it hurt? Like,
Yeah.
like I'm looking at him like, man, Josie Aldo was
That's like
he
watching
was a
a
man,
movie.
right?
Did you watch Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz from last year?
I mean, last year?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I watched it last year.
It is the
Is that on Pride or
most
something?
sad. It was Oscar De La Hoya's little shanty promotion he runs.
You mean Coke Man?
Golden Boy Promotions
That's
is
usually
where the fight
boxing.
was, and it was
That bad. Huh?
it was sad. It was awful. Chuck
Chuck
Liddell
Liddell
couldn't
doesn't
hardly
really
move.
So would you say it's as bad as watching The Undertaker from the last year
Yeah,
of matches?
it was
That
like
bad?
watching Goldberg Undertaker. It's like, would you just stop doing this, please?
Chuck
Somebody
Liddell has
stop
no
him.
idea where he is anymore.
I mean, if you took it, like, he was in some wars back in the day. Like, he was in some wars back in the day, Chuck
Yeah.
Liddell. Like, I mean, that was the time where they just literally just stood in front of each other, punched each other in the face, and see who could take it the most.
What? Just a series of fights. Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture.
Oh.
Two icons.
Oh.
I liked Randy Couture.
Randy Couture,
I was more of a Chuck Liddell man.
Randy Couture, who, by the way, you know his MO throughout his career, the beloved Randy Couture, was to hold people up against the cage and strike and earn points and win by decision. That's what he did.
He made it a lot easier to see his strikes against the cage.
I could see him. I don't know
Yeah,
what you
everyone
were-
with eyes could.
I could see him. I could see him.
For the record,
You and every redneck around here.
I will say this, that for the record, during that match, I was too caught up in watching my volatility of my stocks go up and down to try to find the time to
This
sell
man
out.
was betting on alternate currencies and said, "Why are they not doing good?"
Ooh, I sold out at -30 lost.
Oh, you should have held on to it at that point.
Yeah.
No, the next, like the past 2 days it went down, it would have been negative like 45 or something. Yeah, I got out at the right time. But man. it hurt.
Andrade versus Namajunas, this card starts off.
Indeed.
Namajunas looked really good.
To an extent, once she started getting rocked, she got scared.
Here is what I think happened on 2 occasions
Okay, I'm listening.
in this card that we will talk about in another fight. I think there's a problem in the UFC right now with the judges.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you see is a fighter wins a majority of the fight, but in a 5-round fight or a 3-round fight, if let's say the last minute of the second round, a fighter starts hitting some strikes, starts landing some things, but you know that I think the judges weigh too heavily on how the fight ends instead of how the whole fight was.
Yeah.
I think it.
Well, it's known you can steal rounds in like the end of the last 30 seconds if you put on a good enough show.
I think we saw this. Even like if a fighter clearly wins in a main event or a title fight, clearly wins the first 3 rounds,
And it's kind of full.
and then a fighter really starts pushing, and the other guy starts running out of gas, and you start seeing the guy come up in rounds 4 and 5. It's like the judges forget about rounds 1 through 3, and they lean more on the other guy winning.
Fight you're talking about.
Well, yeah.
I think this happened with this one for one judge.
Yeah.
Listen.
And what was it, the third fight?
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
I think
judges in any sport like this, like
it's becoming how you finish,
These
not how you start.
UFC judges are starting to make me feel like the way I feel when I watch a boxing match.
I don't think it's fixed. I just think they're not doing their jobs.
I'm not saying fixed like that. I think that there is so much hijacking that happens in these fights, like in boxing and UFC. Like it goes back to the almighty dollar.
Yeah, I think they want to push.
If you got someone who's coming in at 18-0 and they're facing someone who's like 12-6, it's going to lean more towards the 18-0 person. So if you're 12-6, you better knock them out or submit them if you want the decision.
I was listening to a guy talk that is in UFC, works for UFC, and he was talking about the judges and where the judges. No. And he was talking about where the judges come from. He said the people judging fights shouldn't be judges. They have no fight background. They don't know what they're looking at. He said the people, what you get is like you have the athletic commission and they're Las Vegas employees that get sent to judge fights. Like they're employees of whatever they get,
That's crazy.
and they have no business judging fights because they don't know what they're looking for. So I think when you have somebody like that, it's real easy for bias to get stuck in their head when they don't know
Well,
what
if you're
they're
a Las
watching.
Vegas employee as well, then you would be very privy to the lines on betting.
When you don't know what you're watching, it's easy to get caught in hype,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
But-
I was gonna say maybe Fight Island will change that, but no, then whoever Dana White wants to win will win.
Yeah.
Masvidal.
Here's the thing. I think it boils down to the UFC, like the judges that judge the fights. You cannot leave.
You
your
can't
fight
leave it in the
judge.
judge's hands.
I wish they would take it away from it.
Dana
Let-
White has always
let-
said that. Dana
let
White
them-
always tells fighters, don't leave it in the judge's hands. They're stupid.
Yeah.
He says that all the time.
I
Trust
wish.
Dana White though.
You know what? Add another round. Let him go to somebody either gets knocked out, submits, or TK.
I don't like
He
that
wants bare
idea.
knuckle.
Man,
Old West, just beat each other.
I mean, bare knuckle's safer.
But there's not many stories of people in the UFC getting their jaw knocked off,
there's a
like
few.
hanging.
Yeah, bare knuckle's safer. I mean,
Until you
I
get
just-
90 rounds.
I hate when I see a fight, especially a good fight. I hate when I see it go to the judges, because you know somebody's getting screwed.
well,
Because if it's a good fight, you could argue either way for either person.
Andrade Namajunas, I felt, was clearly 29-28 Namajunas. She won the first round, looked great. Punches were accurate, jabs were accurate. She looked fantastic, throwing good punches. Namajunas comes out second round, does same thing, just throwing volume, throwing a lot of punches. They're hitting. She's accurate, blah, blah, blah. Third round, Andrade starts pushing, starts hitting her. Starts really putting it on her. Her eyes swell shut. She starts doing some damage.
Yeah.
But that was in the third round. She did a lot of damage in the third round, but it was in the third round, and the decision comes out, and it's a split decision. One judge saw Andrade winning, and I think the reason that judge saw Andrade winning is he looked at Namajunas' face and looked at her face and said, well, it looks like Andrade won.
Cosmetic damage has a lot.
Because you
to
have
play.
judges that don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
That don't know.
Can we talk about how your takedown defense should add points to your score?
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
Like if
should.
you attempt 10 takedowns on me and I block 8 of them, I should get some type of point from that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Like,
an
it's-
art and that's a skill itself.
I mean, so is defense in any sport, but you don't get points for defending.
It's much different with
If you pick
combat
the ball
sports,
off,
right?
you get points. Like if you
If
take
you
it
get
to
the
the
end
house,
zone.
if you sack someone in
Also,
the end
there's
zone.
much,
It
there's
is.
huge difference between a combat sport.
And I think
Yeah.
it does
And
weigh on the
possible.
judge. I think it does weigh
Isn't
on
it
the
in
judge.
regular college wrestling or high school wrestling? Don't you get points for those types of things, like reversals and everything? Like I'm pretty sure
I
you get
don't
points
know
for your
about
defense.
wrestling rules.
Like-
I think in actual collegiate wrestling you get points for takedown for
But you don't
takedown
in
defenses
football.
and everything.
I think it does weigh on the judges.
I don't know.
I don't
I've
think
seen
so.
a lot of defense. And I get to the guy because I said he
Yeah.
just aggressified more. He controlled the ring. The other guy backpedaled a lot. He had one takedown.
Yeah.
Like he was really marching forward.
Yeah, I think that it blinds.
And that
the-
goes back to people not knowing what they're watching.
Tone Woodley, a defensive fighter. Everybody's like, he's not doing anything.
Yeah,
when
but he was a
good,
champion
he was
for
good.
2 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
Floyd Mayweather was defensive.
yeah.
Like, he literally is a counterpuncher. He never aggresses. Like in any of his 50 wins, he was never the aggressor. He just waited for you to make the thing, and he punished
Which I
you.
thought Oscar
I know.
De La Hoya, there was an argument Oscar De La Hoya beat him when Oscar De La Hoya was past his prime.
Well, I'm
But
gonna tell you
that's another
this.
story for another day.
I watched that fight, and I would agree. Everyone I was watching that fight would thought De La Hoya got it.
Yeah.
But it goes down to
the almighty
the
dollar.
record, the almighty dollar, and Floyd Mayweather made so much money for boxing and from boxing that he was never going to lose that fight.
But this is the problem. I mean, Namajunas clearly won rounds 1 and 2, and because Andrade finished clean, the judges, Andrade was fresh in one judge's mind. Luckily, Namajunas won by split decision. Jan versus Aldo. Aldo had some moments.
Hey, he came out looking good.
He looked
like
old
Jose Aldo, yeah.
Jose Aldo. His kicks, we haven't seen him kick like that in a while.
If you remember me, I said after round 2, I was like, Jose Aldo could win this fight.
Yeah, we hadn't seen him kick like that in a while.
Like, through the first 2 rounds, he was in it.
I think his condition, I don't know if his conditioning failed him or he
old.
took body shots and he took a couple big body shots.
I think condition play a lot, and Pierre Jan is bad.
Yeah, and
his boxing was outmatched.
Like every time you get hit in the body, it just releases a little bit of gas out of your tank. It just you
But
lose air, you lose air, you lose
This
air.
was the fight though, right, where they stood in front of each other and basically just traded shots, right? Let me tell you. I know you're not gonna like this, but man, I actually loved watching the first 3 rounds of this fight.
I love watching fights like that.
Huh?
I love watching
this fight. We're almost 6th ranked. There you go.
Yeah, I love watching these fights.
Yeah.
I love watching striking fights.
Oh, that was so nice. There's just so many big shots after big shot. I mean, like literally, like just Jan was just so heavy.
It started changing in round 3. In round 3, they both had big moments.
And Aldo went away from the leg strikes.
Right, in round 1, all those kicks were good. Jan hurt his body late, and I think that took a lot. You saw him hit him. I thought he had a broken rib because he grabbed it, but the way he fought the rest of the fight, I don't think he had a broken rib. I think it just knocked the air out.
Yeah, I think what happened is whenever
he hit him right in the solar plexus.
It looked like he hit him right there, where your rib cage ends. Look, he hit it right there, and it went down through. Mm-hmm. And I think, that'll knock the wind out of anyone.
And I think that's what happened. Round 2, Aldo comes out. He looks good again. I think he won round 2. Round 3 is where it starts changing. Both fighters had big moments. Jan really started putting it on. He started pressing him, started walking him down, and then round 4 is what round 4 was.
Can we just talk about the end of the fight? Because I feel like this is where the majority of the talk should happen.
Yeah, round 5. Let's get to it. Round 5.
Round 5 should have been stopped 15 seconds into the fight.
Right. There's no reason on planet Earth that fight goes as long as it goes.
Here's the thing. This is the thing that I fault the referee about. It's that type of decision by the ref to let it go on so long that makes people so adamant speaking out against the UFC and the legality of the sport. Because when you just have someone who's laying there who is not defending himself.
Yeah, he's done.
Literally he's turtled like
he's
this.
Finished.
And he's not moving. Like, you should not let 45, 50 seconds of just beating the the blood was just, you could see the blood expanding on the mat. Yeah. Like, this is the reason why there's so many people outside of the UFC community who argue that this sport should be banned because of stuff like that. Stop the fight.
Yeah, he's done. He's finished.
Jose Aldo made you the money that you thought he was going to make you in the first 3 rounds.
He's not fighting back. He's done.
He's done.
Stop.
There's just, man, it made me so mad because, like, all right, listen, I understand from his opponent's perspective that, like, you fight until the ref pulls you off, right? But, man, like...
At the same time, don't you, when you beat him, kind of look at her and be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there had to be something that crossed his mind. Like he should have looked at the refs like, are you not going to stop this?
Yeah.
Like, because literally, he was probably, like, another 30 seconds away. He might have died. Like, literally, he could have killed him. Like, if you keep doing that.
Yep.
Like, I mean, just the impact.
We've seen it happen in combat sports.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen in combat sports. We've seen you leave a fight and you bring swells, and I mean, there's only so much you can take, and when you're not fighting back, the fight's over. It's done.
And
stop the fight.
The sound of those punches, Jesus Christ.
And right here, I have in my notes, if you want to know how long it went, the beatdown went 1.5 minutes too long. 1 minute 30 seconds too long. When did
the beatdown start? Do you remember? It was quick into that round, wasn't it? Like, it was.
He pretty much took him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went 1 minute, and 1 minute and 50 seconds too long. It went almost 2 minutes too long.
Yeah. Literally just taking unnecessary shots. The fight.
That's a long time to get beat.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. Aldo's corner should have threw in the towel.
Yeah, that's a long time to get beat.
Like, it's not all on the ref. The ref has that primary decision, but if you're Aldo's corner, throw the dang flag in.
Yeah.
Throw the towel in.
Your job as a corner man is to protect your fighter, and
he did not protect him.
You didn't.
There's my surrender in Brazil.
Now, Here is the big example of the
The
judges.
Steel.
Yeah, the big example of the judges looking at the end of fights and not the start of fights.
The Vaz Allen screw job.
Holloway versus Volkanovski.
I mean, Volkanovski deserved to win that fight.
No.
Yeah.
Holloway won round
Alexander
ones
Grace.
1, 2, and 3.
Nah. He won
Clearly
rounds
won.
1 and 2. Round 3 was up in the air. It was a coin flip, which
Round
is
three
why
can't go either way.
it could have happened the way the judges scored it, because round 3 was not definitive enough for Holloway.
I thought he won
And-
round 3.
You know, like I think you had two popular fighters there, and I just think that, you know, the last two and a half rounds won it from I can't say his name.
Volkanovski.
Volkanovski. Like, I just-
Also, the whole time post fight, he looked like he was waiting for somebody to come try to take the title from him. Like he kept darting to side and
Oh,
kicking
listen,
fast.
that fight could have won either way.
Yeah.
Like 100% is the reason why like the
But I think
judges
right
suck.
now Volkanovski has more hype. He's the future the UFC wants.
Yeah, and
Max
that's
Holloway had more
why
composure in the fight and stayed
You-
calm and had better
you
placement.
cannot tell me that Dana White isn't whispering into somebody's ear saying, "Hey, if
We need the next
it
McGregor."
can happen, we need this person here." That's what's happening in these sports.
Yeah.
Like Dana White understands that his money lies on the next big name fighter. Max Holloway.
He's too defensive. He
Yeah.
plays it too smart. He's a good fighter, but he's not.
He's not the moneymaker.
Mm.
He's not the go out there and. Now, he did have a couple of those moments. I feel like he broke his fighting character a little
Yeah.
bit in this fight. I thought that he did actually go the flying knee attempts and stuff. I thought that was very aggressive compared to what he normally does. But he's not going to do that every fight.
No.
I think he knew he had to do something different with this guy because he's the up and comer. He's the rising star. He's not going to be the one waiting back for something. He's going to bring it. So I can see why that fight actually went to Volkanovski because I just don't think Max Holloway. Like, listen, you guys know when I was watching this fight, I said I wanted Holloway to win.
No.
I think
Right?
Holloway should
And I
win.
thought he won the first two.
And that's why
And-
I think it's so
but it's
interesting
just-
Volkanovski won, because Max Holloway has a fan base 3 times bigger than Volkanovski's too. So
But
if you're
just because
following
you
the
have
money,
just because you have a fan base doesn't mean you actually have the financial draw.
maybe.
Right? Because I can compare it to Twitch streamers. Right? You can have a lot of fans on there, but you might not be the most friendly face to put on the face of Twitch.
Yeah.
Right? Think of this. This is why you
Holloway's
have,
one of the nicest guys on the planet.
hey,
Yeah, but he's not
he's
a
not
big name. Why
he's not the money
Masvidal-
draw. I
I
mean,
think he would draw more money than Volkanovski. I think.
Well, Volkanovski, that says the future that Dana White wants, where you talk trash and you send
Oh
punch
yeah,
each other.
definitely. But I think Holloway would draw more money.
I don't think so. There's a
100%
reason
think.
why you look at a new cover of UFC 4 and it's got Masvidal on the front.
yeah, exactly right. And you know what? I look forward to a couple fights down the road. We get that rematch from the final fight. I really do think that if they're both specifically training for each other, I think that fight is really good.
I think this is a big one for the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Who do the listeners think would draw more money, Holloway or Volkanovski?
Yeah. Who would you rather?
Who do you think draws the most money out of those two?
May I
If you had
speak
to
of-
pick one.
The best match of this year,
Go ahead.
Cormier Miocic 3.
Hey!
Short round.
Boy, I can't wait.
I'm excited about. Are we gonna watch that one too?
Yeah, we're watching my boy fight.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen. Sometimes I don't
My
know.
boy from Ohio, I believe.
Who? Daniel Cormier? He's from isn't he from Los Angeles?
No, Danny
New
Cormier's
Orleans.
from
Lafayette.
Lafayette. I was trying to think
I
what
thought
town.
I think
He's
he
from
I thought he
Lafayette.
lives in like
We ain't talking about where
California
he
now.
lives, buddy. We're talking about where
He's
he's
from
from.
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh.
I think something Parish for some reason.
He kind of looks like a Frenchman, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like he just has that short, stocky
Ah.
French look.
Daniel Cormier.
Yeah,
He has
Cormier.
a French name. Yeah, Cormier.
Stipe
Cormier.
Miocic with the eyes of the Croat.
When the other crow hair upon you.
That's gonna be good, man.
All right, Ron. You ready to argue?
You ready to argue about like why?
Coach Whistler know what happened. Usman kicked his ass.
You know, we didn't speak on a fight. I kept thinking, what fight didn't we cover? There was a fifth fight. There was 2 win fights. What did we cover? Paige Van Zandt. Amanda Hebus, the
Yeah.
first fight. I was wondering why you didn't cover that one.
I did not write that one down.
Well, it only
Paige-
lasted,
yeah,
like a minute and a half.
Paige Van Zandt.
Amanda Hebus.
Paige Van Zandt's
nasty.
done. Her career's over.
I think she just does this more just to pass the time.
Yeah, she's
I think
finished.
she does it to
she'll
keep her
do-
fan base.
She's
more
finished.
model
Because she
than
makes all
anything.
this, she makes all this money off of like her Instagram.
Paige,
Yeah.
Paige Van Zandt's finished.
Yeah.
She's been finished for a while in the
Yeah.
UFC.
I just couldn't remember which
All
fight
right,
it was.
the last fight, right? Go ahead. I'll just bring us in, man. Tell me why this fight was good.
To see somebody as good at their craft as Kamaru Usman is incredible to me.
Yeah.
To be able to say, here's my game plan, here's what I'm going to do.
Nightmare.
Everybody watching, everybody training, everybody, the man in the other corner knows what I'm going to try
Makes
to
me
do.
think of Anderson
and
Silva
you
in his prime.
can't stop me. That is incredible to me.
Yeah. I was not a fan of the slowness and methodical pace of this fight.
First off, you know what you're watching.
Well,
Fat eyes.
I am more of a fan. I like the action to be very upfront and personal in your face. This fight,
You like back alley brawls. You wanna
I
watch
do.
Street beef.
I do.
You want to pay $60 to watch
listen,
Street beef.
Listen, that's okay.
We'll go to YouTube and watch Street beef.
Yeah,
free, bro.
but I've been able to do that by watching UFC because like there have been
I'm gonna pay
a
$60.
ton of UFC fights recently have been like that, which is why Dana White chooses the particular people he wants to win based upon the amount of trash they talk and the pace of their fight, and because it brings people off their
But
seats.
guess what? Even if
This
he wanted,
fight keeps
even if he
people in
wanted,
their chairs.
even if he wanted Masvidal to win, he couldn't tell the judges, "Hey, help
No,
Masvidal out."
yeah, because he was being hugged the whole time.
he got
He was
beat
hugged.
down.
He was hugged and foot stomped the whole
because he
time.
got dominated.
Because it was just a hugging fest. I literally could turn on any porn and watch that same thing. Like, it's exactly what it is.
All right,
Tell me
listen,
weird
It was-
information about you.
It was
Yeah.
two men.
you like
it-
watching
listen,
women get
listen,
beat. Is what I'm hearing.
Listen,
Oh, I thought
it
he
was
one no touch. Sentimental
No.
touch.
It was two men being hugged the whole time.
Come on.
That's all
Isn't
it
that
was.
what America wants right now, Ron?
It might be.
Love.
It might be. Listen. The first round, I love the first round. We got to see a lot. The guy's name keeps slipping.
Kamaru
my mind.
Usman.
No, the other one.
Jorge Masvidal.
Masvidal. Yeah.
George.
Like
George
yeah.
Masvidal.
Yeah, Masvidal's like I absolutely love how he came out. He was aggressive. He landed big shots, and Usman knew he couldn't fight that fight, so he had to do the one thing he could to win the fight, which was hug him.
And Masvidal couldn't stop him.
Yeah,
You know.
it's
I
kind of
want you
hard
to know.
to listen. If I pinned you up against that wall, hugging you like that, it'd be hard for
There's
you
a
to get me
big
off too.
difference
Can I-
between y'all two
Can
and
I
those
tell you?
two.
Can I tell you?
If I pinned you up against the wall,
Can I
Okay,
give you
something?
Can I give you a fact? Can I
What?
tell
Give me
you
a
something?
fact.
Can I give you a fact?
Tell me why a foot stomp is a legitimate strike.
Can I-
What
can
if,
I-
hang on, what if Masvidal knew what was happening? This whole time against Cage, because they said he was smiling, and I don't know if you noticed, he kept winking at the camera and blowing kisses. Maybe he knew. Maybe he planned it that he wasn't going to win.
Maybe it was. Maybe the UFC just said, "Come out and give us a show."
Can I give you a
And
fact?
what?
And build
Wrestlers
up
have
for,
lost
What?
in the UFC. Wrestlers have lost.
Oh,
in
I
the
know
UFC.
that.
Grapplers have lost.
I
There's a
know
way
that.
to do it.
I know
There's a way
that.
to beat them.
I know that, but I don't think you could actually have 7 days of intense training enough to make that happen.
He said he was training the whole time.
I mean,
Did he lie to us?
He might have.
also,
Well,
I
that's
imagine he
stupid.
would.
That's stupid to make
also builds up
yourself
for the next
sound
fight.
worse.
People are going to see that
Yeah.
fight there and be like,
Yeah.
this was disappointing. It was
If this fight happens
you didn't
again
do
2
anything.
fights down the road, Usman will not be able to hug him. that
Well,
much.
you didn't do anything but make yourself sound worse by saying
I
you
mean-
trained the whole time. Good job, dummy.
Well, they said it, like on the UFC announcer said that he trained the 7 days before.
And he told the camera, I've been
He
training
had
the
a
whole
ton of
time. He
wrestling
said,
done.
I've been training the whole
No,
time.
the whole
So
time.
you made yourself sound worse.
The whole time could be
He said-
7 days.
No, he said he's been training as if he was going to get the fight.
And
He
as-
said he had a fight
Yeah.
camp. He had everything
Hey,
prepared for this
I don't
fight.
think you
So
trained
you're
just to
making
take
yourself
foot
sound
stomps.
worse.
Listen,
And Usman
it's just
said,
pin against the cage, stomp your foot, and body shots.
Is
I
that
didn't
what you
see
would-
that-
is that
because
what you would have
maybe,
recommended?
Maybe they were just real close, and I just didn't pay
Is that
attention
what
to
you would have
detail.
recommended to Masvidal? Go out there and tell the cameras that you did train. You're just not that good.
Listen,
also,
it doesn't.
Usman
It
had a
doesn't.
good
It doesn't matter
point.
because Masvidal has to keep up the vocal perspective that the fans like want him to have. he's going to go out there and say what the fans want him to hear. You know why? Because it's going to make him a lot of damn money.
Yeah.
And it has made him a lot of damn money. And it will continue to
Which
make
is
him.
insane. How many other people are making money that's lost 14 times in the UFC?
Listen, it doesn't matter. It's always about the money. I know you guys talk about doing your band and you do it for the love of the music, but you know what? These big bands who made it big, it might have started for the music. You might have started doing UFC because you like to grapple and you like to wrestle and fight. But you know what it boils down to? How much money you got in that bank.
It does. And as Usman said, motherfuckers, they're all training to fight him. He's the champion. They're training for him.
Yeah, so
he
it was
has to train
harder.
for
So it was
everybody else.
harder on him.
Yeah. Now that you hear my point of view, that you are run.
So it was harder on him.
It was harder because you could tell in the first
And
round
it's
it was
still
harder.
harder.
Because in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, all he did was hug him. That's all he did. Hug, foot stomp. I guess
He didn't hit him 250 times?
Listen, a foot stomp should not count.
He did.
A foot stomp should not count
You saw
against your strikes.
250 foot stomps?
You saw about 80 of them.
No, where's the other 170?
But I guess these little short punches I didn't see.
And that's what ran him out of gas.
I guess so, man. But it's not an entertaining fight. It's not entertaining.
Watch Street Beefs.
It's
You
not
can see it on
entertaining.
YouTube for free. Go watch Street
I guarantee
Beefs.
you, people love the Jose. I bet the Jose Aldo fight got higher rating than the championship fight did, and it got a better reaction because of the fighting in it.
Because people want to watch Street Beefs.
It's the same thing we talk about your other boy, the undefeated guy who has the title, the one who
Habib's
beat
a
up.
great fighter.
Yeah,
Habib's one of the greatest fighters of all
but
time.
it's the same thing, right? Like Habib should not he won't be the face of UFC ever because of his fighting style.
Well, he boxes
Because
a
he's
lot too,
much
though.
too good.
Yeah,
Because
but-
he's much
but-
too good.
But
for
because
that.
of his fighting style, he won't be that cover. All right, he won't be that face.
Because he's 28-0 and beat all the big people in that
Listen,
division.
I'm not saying he's not great. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that
Because
perspective-
much like the judges, 90% of the fan base don't know what they're watching.
Hey, listen, man.
Agree or disagree?
I don't think it's not they don't know what they want watching. I think it's they know what they're watching and they want a particular type.
So they think
and they are dissatisfied when they don't get that style.
They know they are seeing
It
a
is-
mastercraft and they are disappointed anyway. Is what
it's
what you're
the
saying?
same reason why people tuned in to watch Floyd Mayweather fight. You didn't watch Floyd Mayweather fight to see this masterful boxing promotion. You watched him fight because you knew all he was going to do was sit back and counter. You watched to see people beat him. That's why people watch fighters like that. Because they want to see them go down because their fighting style sucks in their mind. I'm not saying it does suck, but in their mind it does.
Because
It's the
they
same
don't
reason-
know what they're watching,
Yeah,
so
but-
they think it
It's
sucks.
the same thing we talk about with WWE fans. Like, you have a particular sect of people. The majority of your people want to see this,
But what I'm saying
and you
is,
try to deliver that
you see what I'm
product.
saying here? The reason they think it sucks is because they don't know what they're looking at. They don't know they're
People
watching.
know what a takedown
They don't
is.
know
People
they're
know
watching somebody, a man who, you know my game plan, and I'm so good at execution. I'm so good at getting it done that I am going to do it anyway, and there's nothing you can do because I am excellent at my craft.
There is no reason to pay $60 to watch a guy hug someone on the
They don't
fence
care
for
about the
4
craft.
rounds.
Nobody cares about
Yeah,
the craft of
but
MMA.
But people did not pay $60
To see the craft
to,
of MMA.
to watch
Hang
someone
on,
pin
hang on.
against a fence for 3
Do you
rounds.
think it was the majority of UFC fans that feel that way, or do you think it's just the inbreds around here that we see on Facebook?
100% the inbreeds
Because I
around
hear you
here.
say people didn't pay $60 to watch.
You guys never go out to bars to watch these, do you? So
Yeah.
you go to bars to watch?
Yes.
I've never seen you in a bar to
I
watch.
think he went to one. He never goes bars.
You wouldn't like.
I've been watched through
You would.
13 years.
You wouldn't go watch. You wouldn't like
No.
watching a bar in a
Oh,
pay per view
see,
in a bar.
That's in a bar with drunken idiots.
because of just the reaction.
Because of the drunk
fans.
morons
Have you
around
ever-
us? Yeah,
Have you ever watched a
okay.
bar fight?
All right, but listen.
Have you ever watched a
Listen.
fight? Yeah.
But listen.
You're not making
That-
good points here.
Bar
Well,
fights
you won't
aren't
let me make the
technical.
point because you know I'm right.
Well, he won't let you make point because he's got to yell what he thinks.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know I'm right. Like, listen, these people who are going to watch these fights in bars are the people who are making UFC money. Alright? They have a difference of opinion than you do. I understand you love the art, you love the craft, you love the trade. I enjoy those things as much as you do, But the majority of UFC fans don't buy a pay-per-view to watch someone hug someone for 3 rounds.
And that's my point. My point is most of the people that buy the pay-per-views don't know what they're looking at.
No, they know what they're looking at. They don't like it, is what I'm saying. They want you upfront and personal. It looks like you're about to have a stroke. I can't concentrate. Your pupils are huge right now.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
down the whole
Hey,
time.
I don't know why that
is it- you alright, man? Hey, calm down.
No, because it was like that
Calm
before
down.
we-
He knows why, because he's been sitting here yelling. You know, I've been
It was
trying to
like
say
that.
stuff.
Yeah. Hey,
He grabs my mic and just.
he makes me feel bad about having the right perspective now. All right, listen. I understand. Number one, Usman is a great fighter. All right, he deserved to win that fight. He had listen. As much as I don't like the foot stomps, I think they're stupid. They're very effective. Because I can tell you right now, even you with your little tiny ass foot, if you stomp mine, I would hurt. It would not feel good. All right, I understand that. He deserved to win the fight. I in no way. The first round gave me hope that he would lose. All right, but after that, I understand the wrestling. I love wrestling. WWE, college, collegiate, high school. I love it. All right, I understand the amount of skill that's required to physically hold somebody in position to do those things. I just don't think the majority of UFC fans want it.
So, just to finish up here,
Right.
you're putting on all the fans that they know the masterclass they're watching. They know the just excellent execution they're watching. They fully understand the perfection and of the craft. They fully understand what they're watching, and they disregard it.
I don't think anyone fully understands it, because I don't think you would even fully understand it. I think they do disregard it because you've played a UFC game online. You know what happens when you take somebody down and the words they start saying at you. I'm just saying that they don't actually care for it as much as you. You care about the totality of the beautifulness that is the art of UFC, which brings in Muay Thai, brings in some karate. There's some karate there. Brings in wrestling, brings in boxing, brings in all these different things. They mesh together, right? You understand that, like you said, you understand that all these things come together to make something great. I'm just saying the majority of fight fans don't care about it. They just want to see bar fighting. But that's why the UFC caters. That's why you always have on these cards. There's always two trash talkers going at each other that you know it's going to be nothing but high octane punching and kicking. Because the UFC has to give that, because they won't sell if the Usman fight, if that's the only good, if that fight could have been appealing to everyone, but if that's the only fight on the card, and you don't have that high octane, those fighters are going to give you everything. Those pay-per-views won't sell.
I feel like there was 4 of those types of fights in this card, because you had, who was it, just Andrade, Peter Yan,
you knew Aldo Yan was going to go like that. You
Volkanovski.
knew, you knew all those fights were going to be high octane.
Masvidal, and I feel like this also leads up to, like I said, the other Masvidal-Usman fight, if Usman keeps title, because, he had short notice, so if he won, it looked great. If he lost, hey, I didn't have time to train, and even when he lost, he said, it was good, man. You did a good job. I'll get a few more fights out of me, and we'll do this again. So then people are going to tune in for that one, see if he redeems himself.
And that's why I thought it was so damn stupid of him to get in the post-press conference and tell everybody, I was training the whole time. Don't tell everybody that. That makes you look worse.
I think that was just the show. It was just a showmanship.
Made a show for the next fight.
Yeah, that's all it was showmanship.
Don't tell everybody you've been training the whole time.
They have taken a page out of the WWE's book.
Yeah, they 100% are becoming.
This is what it is.
Did you see that promo where he was walking around Florida talking about baptizing people?
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. And you know what?
I'll tell you, after the Khabib McGregor fight, didn't we all 3 watch that here?
Yes, we did watch it.
We did, with your brother from Ireland.
No, it was just us 3 and his dad, because
Joanne was a different one.
Yeah. That was a different.
Was he?
That might have been
a different one.
Yeah, I remember the cowboy fight.
one, I guess maybe.
Maybe it was the
that was
boxing
McGregor.
Yeah. But I remember we watched this one because we had a big discussion about.
But he is in this story. Because do you know I have an Irish cousin who
half Irish,
half
born here,
who told me after that fight
that McGregor won.
He was like, Khabib got lucky. McGregor was winning. It was a close fight.
That fight wasn't close.
What are you talking?
Or
So I think those are the fans you're talking about. I think those are the majority fans you're talking about.
But they
don't know what they're watching.
But they are the fans.
But they were paying $60 a
Yeah.
pop. You only give one $60.
Yeah.
They each give over and over.
Yeah. At least we 20.
And I mean, also,
You got to watch it for
was
free.
just trying to tire him out
Yeah.
when he
With
was
its
bouncing his
face.
head off the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, when he's bouncing his head off the mat. And,
Yeah. Get tired. Hit me in the face.
I think he's just tired him
It's
out.
called rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I was very happy with the UFC card we watched. I really was.
We're getting yelled at for one
I-
more.
I was just,
Oh yeah.
I was more amped up about the other fights we watched, than the
I am
last
planning on
one.
watching that card. It's gonna be good.
Which one?
There's a card tomorrow
Yeah.
night on Fight Island.
But yeah,
Pretty good.
so
Balls Island.
I don't know, man. I was happy with it. I didn't leave here thinking I wasted $20, to split the pay-per-view price with you guys. I was like, this was good. I had a good time. I just think that last fight. I think the next time we see them two fight, it's going to be a lot more high-paced, and I think that you're going to see a lot of attempts to keep him pinned, but I don't think they're going to work as much.
I think if
They might work in
I
round
think-
4.
Here's what I think. I think if UFC is playing the game that we're talking about them playing, I think they're not going to let that fight happen again. They're going to give Usman and Colby Covington will be the next one, and something is going to happen where Usman is either going to lose or he's going to get stripped, and it'll be a
Yeah.
Covington versus Masvidal or something like that. If UFC's playing that game, they're going to make sure that right there doesn't happen again.
Although, you know who is a bad fighter? That's going to be probably the next fight, which would be so good? Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert
I'd like to
Burns
see
versus
Burns.
Masvidal.
We forgot about that. Yeah.
Gilbert Burns Masvidal would be a good.
So you got Masvidal has to get past Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
If not, that fight doesn't happen. Which I agree with you. I don't think UFC wants the second one.
Yeah, I don't think it wants.
But I think it will draw a lot of money though
Yeah.
if it does.
Yeah.
This
But-
one was apparently the second highest grossing one
It was
behind.
apparently huge. Masvidal's.
It was 1.3 million. I think Habib McGregor was 2.9.
His following.
Yeah.
We
It's
haven't
his following.
seen. We've only seen 2, maybe 3 people like this in the UFC, and it's McGregor and Masvidal, and
Hey,
maybe
Cowboy.
GSP.
Cowboy, man. People
don't think he didn't
people
fought-
ball fights.
Man,
ball
Cerrone
fights
didn't have a
watch.
following like McGregor, Masvidal, and GSP.
Well, GSP is the man.
He didn't have a following like them 3. He wasn't that
Maybe.
good. He was sorely overrated.
Much like Ronda
What?
Rousey. In a
What?
time where wasn't many good fighters.
GSP was.
We can
phenomenal.
go back and look at GSP clips.
Hey, you
and
know
what
what?
you're fond
We-
of, you're going to
listen.
realize he wasn't that good.
Listen, you know what? Maybe we can devote a whole episode to talking about GSP.
Oh, we will.
All right, and we can do some research and we can do some things, but I just think you're underappreciating his role in the development of the UFC to the superstar status.
I'm not talking about the
Good in
development
his
because
time.
he did the same thing Ronda Rousey did. He helped the sport. But what I'm saying is, Ronda Rousey, compared to elite fighters, is not elite. GSP was elite,
Here's
but
the
he's
thing.
not a high
Here's
tier
the-
elite.
Ronda Rousey was elite.
No, she wasn't.
No,
She
listen,
didn't fight
listen,
anybody
listen,
at the time.
listen. She was elite, and it made other people become better to beat her. Just because you're the first doesn't mean you weren't elite. Like, you have to understand that. Like, just because you were the first doesn't mean you were less than other people.
I just hate the UFC peddling stuff. Almost like them trying to say
Well,
Peter
she
Yan's
had-
division
here's
is
the-
just stacked.
here's the thing.
DC being the baddest man on the
If
planet.
Ronda-
Stop.
I mean,
Here's the
who
thing.
was the
No,
baddest
here's the
woman
thing.
on the planet?
If Ronda Rousey doesn't carry the UFC, you might not have it right now. You should be probably on your knees worshiping her.
If Ronda Rousey
Listen,
didn't carry the
listen,
UFC,
listen. For 3 years, she was the face, not any other man. For 3 years, she was the face. I'm telling you.
And then she
sold-
finally, and then
she
she
probably
finally-
sold more
she
pay-per-views than
carried-
any male
she
fighter.
carried the female division.
No,
I
no.
don't think she carried
She-
the entire
no,
UFC.
she carried the UFC.
She carried UFC.
She did
There's like
carry.
an easy body shot. You saw stomp his foot. I don't know what I'm watching.
She carried the UFC. Why? Listen,
And then
she did.
she gets in the cage with a fighter.
Yeah.
And you can
Not
see
even
it.
a good fighter.
And you can see it. She gets hit, and it's the first time she's ever been punched in her life. She
Hey.
doesn't know what to do.
Hey.
And she freezes like, no elite fighter would
Holly
when you get
Holm's
punched
not
because
that
you're a
good.
fighter.
Here, listen. It's okay. I understand you're upset right now, but I'm telling you, she was elite because she was the first to do it
I feel
and
like you
make
don't
people
know the
be better.
definition of that word.
Our commenters are taking sides. when you watch this, get in the comments and say,
Let Brett know that he's stupid.
yeah. What's
Don't say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to wrap us up for
Yeah, what you say.
the Walrus
Oh,
and
yeah.
Comic
That's what you do.
Sports
Start a
Report,
podcast.
the podcast. Listen, give us a like and a follow and a share. Listen, guys, you are perfectly free to comment whatever you want down below.
And I'll
If you think I'm full of crap, say that big bearded guy is stupid as hell. I don't care.
Walrus.
Say the walrus is stupid. Fat eyes. Say fat eyes is stupid in the comments if you think I am. If you think Brett's dumb,
I'll take it.
yeah.
I am.
I mean, look.
I know I am.
We are not going to get our feelings hurt based upon how you feel.
And I'll respond to every comment.
And Brett does respond. I could care less what you say. I don't even look at the comments.
Oh,
So-
bad man.
Let
I
us
don't
know.
care about our fans. These Mosman all over here.
Please.
I trained the whole time making itself look like a
Thanks for watching.